Okay guys, so I'm not taking a walk. I don't know what the heck kind of birds these are, but these are the biggest birds I've seen in the neighborhood in a long time. I think they're turkey vultures, but they are huge. They're not crows, they're not hawks, and they're not eagles, and they look like turkeys. So I think they're turkey vultures, and they are ginormous. They're not happy that I'm walking by because I interrupted their snack, which was that dead bunny over there. I'm sure when I walk past they'll fly back over there. That's kind of nuts. Those things were monstrous. I don't think I've ever seen them near my house, and I'm only about a block away from where I live. It's kind of crazy. Doing another walk today. Instead of being over at Settlers Park, we're on the walking path that's behind the houses in the subdivision where I live. Over here you've got this kind of a wetland kind of thing for the animals, which they keep fairly long in the summertime, so they have some kind of a habitat. Probably find frogs and mice and all sorts of crazy stuff back there. I've sort of figured out that as long as I keep my calories under 2,000 calories a day, and if I can do a little bit of intermittent fasting, I can keep the weight off and maybe even keep losing weight. And I figure if I add some exercise, even if it's mild cardio, I'm not going real fast, that it will keep me on the path to losing weight. So, how you doing? So as it stands, recently I dropped a couple more pounds, so I'm finally under the 320 pound mark. I was 319.6, which is the first time I've been that low since, well, I can't even remember. A long time. Now, my goal for the end of the year is 299, so I'm still hoping I can get there, or at least get close. I wanted it to be by the end of the summer, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, but yeah, getting back to this walking path, it's fairly long. It goes behind all the houses, and it covers a few streets. They don't really have a map as to where these paths go, but they're fairly long. You know, like that one, I'm already out of my subdivision area. Now these houses over here are a completely different housing development company, so they're not even related to where the subdivision I live in. So I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's a very long path, especially if you're just walking. So I mean, I could literally just walk this path every day and get a significant amount of miles of walking in if I wanted to. Only problem I have with it is it's a little boring, because you're really just looking at power lines and this path, and that's it. You know, there's not a whole lot to it, not a whole lot to see. Whereas the place I was at before, Settlers Park, you got a lake, you got a fountain, there's a lot of people. You know, it's kind of nice, kind of scenic. This is kind of like a snooze fest. But if I don't feel like getting in the car and driving, I can always just walk out of my house and walk down this road. You know, in the wintertime, I'll probably hit the treadmill more than walking outside, but it's 80 degrees today, so there's no point in walking down in my dungeon of a basement. One of the great things about this path is it gives me a chance to try to get my steps in every day. My goal initially is between 5,000 and 7,500 steps on a daily basis. Oh, and I get to meet all the neighbors' dogs. But, you know, I don't know if I'm going to accomplish that in the beginning, but I'm doing pretty good. So, my father passed away at 57 from lung cancer. I know a lot of people who have passed away in the last 10 years. Some due to COVID, some due to other issues, and they were all in their 50s. So, as long as I'm above the dirt, I got breath in my lungs, I'm able to get around, my brain works, and I'm able to do as much as I possibly want to and can, I'm good. You know, I mean, I know people who are in my age group who've had multiple heart surgeries. They got family genetical history of heart disease. Some have diabetes. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm a type 2 diabetic, but I wasn't born with it. So, I mean, does it suck? Yeah. Is it gonna prevent me from doing as much as I possibly can to fight it and keep on moving forward? No. Fuck that. You do what you gotta do. I mean, look at, you can't miss out on a view like that with the fountains and the blue sky and the loud ass cicadas going crazy. Every day is a blessing. You just gotta have some gratitude that you get to keep living. You get to keep doing what you're wanting to do. Just keep seeing your family and spending time with friends. I get to keep making goofy videos on TikTok and YouTube. Come on. What more can you want? Okay, I can want more. I can want $1 million on an annual basis, but if you know, that's the dream anyways. I'm doing okay. Just gotta keep putting one foot in front of the other. So this is the end of the path here. This road here is known as Theodore. And over there is that same gas station with the Dunkin' Donuts over there. So I just kind of went around it in a big circle, basically. Now, technically, if they really wanted to, the village of Plainfield could come in and build more path right down this way and keep going. But they didn't. That's a farm field. They probably don't own it. So it's not. It's just the end. So from here, I'm just gonna walk up the sidewalk and head back. Now I could have turned around and went back the walking path that way, but I like a different view. So let's go this way. Plus, this way I'm walking into the wind and it's feeling like a nice breeze, so I'm gonna enjoy that. Make sure no one's coming up behind me. Don't want to get ran over. But yeah, this gas station is known as a gas and wash. In the Chicago suburb area, mostly in the western suburbs where I live, there are tons of gas and washes being built. They're everywhere. Some of them have Dunkin's and little taco shops. Some of them have Dunkin's and Jimmy John's. One has Dunkin's and a Pop's Beef, which is like a Italian beef fast food type stand. There's probably other ones with other places, but they're everywhere. So the gas and wash has a car wash, but if you notice on the outside edge here, they have something called pet wash. So you could go there with your dog. I imagine you could probably bring your cat if it would allow you to, but well, I would think dog. Go there with your dog and wash your dog. Some people would probably rather do it there than at home, because it don't get dog hair all over. But have you ever used a pet wash? Have you ever gone and taken your dog to the dog wash? If you have, leave me a comment and let me know. I've never done it. I think my dog would freak out. Bear would not like that. I'm gonna let this guy go. So that's the gas and wash. Big old, see there's a Dunkin' in there, and that Takaniho, I think that's how you say it. Oh, and there's a Beggar's Pizza in there too. Those places have food sort of for sale inside of the gas and wash. They're more like smaller units, whereas the Dunkin's sort of a partnership, I think. But yeah, I mean, they even got gambling in there for over 24 hours, because this gas and wash is open 24 hours. So if you're from another state, especially if you're from one of the southern states, like southernish states like Tennessee, how you like those gas prices, huh? You can thank the Governor J. Beefy Pritzker for that, for this fabulous gas tax. It should be $2.49. It should be $2.69, not $3.69. Should actually be like $2.40 something for regular unleaded, because the gas tax is outrageous. Some 40-some% of whatever the cost is added on to that price of the gas. But that is our state government at work. Thank you, Jay Beefy. That's my new nickname for him, Jay Beefy. I used to call him Toilet Stealer. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that story, but a long time ago, our governor owned a house or a building or something, and they were going to tax him on all the livable units to the tune of a couple $1,000,000. And rather than pay the tax on it, he just went in and removed all the toilets from the units. And by removing the toilets, he found a loophole that said, well, if there's no bathrooms, they're not livable spaces, so they can no longer be taxed. Now, I give him credit as a businessman for finding a loophole. That doesn't make it right. But I do give him credit for finding the loophole. Good old Jay Beefy. It's nothing like a billionaire to find loopholes. Now, that being said, I can't be too hypocritical. I voted for Trump. And the reason Trump changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico is because the previous president said, he basically made a law, said you can't drill in the Gulf of Mexico for so many years. And but he didn't say you couldn't drill in a specific spot. He just said you couldn't drill in the Gulf of Mexico. So Trump's found the loophole and said, okay, fine, we'll change the name of it to the Gulf of America. And all drilling is available. Drill, baby, drill. Again, I give him credit for finding the loophole. I give him credit for wanting to lower our gas prices and drill. Some people would not. But I'm not elected. I just have my opinions. And you know what they say about opinions. They're like, you know what? Everybody's got one. So. But yeah. Jay Beefy Toilet Stealer. That's what I call him. So. Whew. That sun is kicking. Now see this field here? This field here used to be big and overgrown like the ones by the walking path. And for some reason, they came in a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, and cut it all down. Now, I don't know whether something was going on. Maybe they were worried it was going to get on fire because it was real dry. But, yeah, they chopped that stuff all down. Now it's just a big, wide open field. And the field over there with the hay, just past that like kind of grassy hedge looking area, that's just an open field. I don't know why. Maybe it was overgrown too. That's why there's so much hay there, but yeah. Or because it's near the school, maybe. I don't know. But whew, this is a good walk. I'll figure out how many steps we took when we get back. But I got no more stories to tell, so I'm gonna turn this camera back on when I get closer to the house. Okay, so I'm about a block away from my house, and it looks like we're at 6,335 steps. So by the time I get to my house, it'll be close to 6,400 steps. Not bad for a good first start on my walking adventures. That's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.